It's your host, Hob, and we back with a culture episode, dog. I know I've been holding out on these, but we back. I've been trying to get into my sports bag just because I know how heavy sports been going lately. So let's get into it.
In this life that I'm living, I pray I make it through the night. As I ride through my city,
Yo. Welcome to another episode of Solar the Culture Podcast. It's your host, Hob, and I'm back, man. This one, we're going to go over the Michael movie because I saw it the first night it came out, y'all, and I ain't gonna lie, like, we gonna get into it for sure. That, Klay Thompson and Megan Thee Stallion, crazy news coming out with that, and then we're gonna get into some more shit like with Ray J and some more shit running down the line. But I know I've been cussing already, but I've been getting a lot of disclaimers and a lot of people telling me, oh, I'll be cussing too much in my pod, man. So we gonna try to minimize the cussing from here on out. I'm gonna try to go this whole episode without a cussing. So, yo, we gonna keep a tracker. Y'all keep a track on here. As many times I cuss or something like that, y'all let me know. Cause I promise y'all, this episode I'm gonna try my best not to do all that extra stuff. So let's do it. So, boom, let's get into the Michael movie, y'all. So I'm gonna pull up the trailer and shit again because I personally, I just want y'all to go back over it just to have some content to watch while I'm pretty much giving my opinion on this. But the movie was good. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not gonna sit on here and hate on it. You feel me? Like the movie was actually pretty good. You feel me? Like I can't say that it was a bad movie. I've seen worser or worse uh biopics or shit like that, but let's watch this trailer over again. So you know what I'm saying? We can kind of get familiarity of what we talking about right now.
Just have all these songs in my head. Just gotta get them out.
you wanna stay alive, better do what you can. So beat it, just beat it. I love you. Don't stop till you get it. Where the phone starts from.
I'm just getting started.
I said you wanna be starting something.
There's no one like you.
Got to be starting something.
This is what I was put on earth to do.
And mother always told me.
I knew you were different the moment you were born. You let your light shine into the world. You are the greatest of all time.
So that's the Michael movie, y'all. This is the movie we talking about, the Michael Jackson movie that just dropped. I know everybody pretty much knows what it was, but I just wanted to give y'all a little trailer so y'all can know what I'm talking about. But before I get into my opinion, shout out to Jafar Jackson. He did a great job playing Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? I think that it was okay, a perfect pick. It was a lot of scenes in the movie where it might be like a side scene or he's just coming through or from a little bit further back. And it actually looked like Mike. It really actually looked like him. So shout out to Jafar. He did it, and everybody in the movie because the acting in the movie, everything was great. You feel what I'm saying? I wouldn't say it was like a Tubi movie or a poor movie that you can wait to see. You feel what I'm saying? But they left too much stuff out. That's the biggest thing. The Michael movie left way too much out. They pretty much did a whole bunch of surface level knowledge that we already knew. For example, we already knew his relationship with Joe Jackson wasn't good. We already knew he didn't want to tour with his brothers. We already knew when he went solo how he was trying to separate himself with a whole new look and everything like that. How he prepared and stuff like that. We already knew all of that. You feel me? But it's like when you make a biopic, you have to go below the surface. You feel me? Like way below, because we want to know, like, as a kid, you feel what I'm saying? Like, if you grew up like me, I ain't gonna lie. When I was a kid, I was damn near obsessed with Michael Jackson. So it's like I did a lot of research into him. So if you go into like, all right, starting from the beginning of the movie, when they go from like Gary and they starting like all the kid, performances and shit like that, stuff like that. They should have went, yeah, they brought up how he used to read Peter Pan, he wants to be Peter Pan and shit like that, and stuff like that. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm trying to stop cussing, so y'all might hear me correct myself a couple times. But uh yeah, we already know about all the Peter Pan stuff. That's how Neverland even came about because he wanted to actually be a kid. Cool, right? But do like the American Dream did. You feel what I'm saying? Go deeper. Figure out like how Mike was feeling even as a kid when he had his first solo album. They should have went deeper between his relationship with him and Barry Gordy, like when they were in the studio going over, oh, what this does and what that does, and you know what I'm saying? He actually showing Mike the ropes of how everything works inside the studio. They should have went deeper into that because and even in those scenes they were showing like Barry Gordy and Joe Jackson having like animosity against each other almost. It was almost like Barry Gordy wanted to put Joe Jackson in the back seat while Joe Jackson was still trying to be the driver. You feel what I'm saying? So they should have definitely went deeper into like his childhood, especially because yeah, they tried to bring up how like Joe Jackson would whoop them and they was going in a little van around to all these different venues and stuff like that. But they didn't even tell like yeah, they kind of gave how like they got discovered in Chicago or whatever at the Regal Theater. But at the same time, that's not how they got discovered by Gladys Knight and Gary doing the show. So it's like they should have put more detail. I know you can't put because it was already 2 hours long. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like the more you put into it, it's like fuck, we can't even release it in movie theaters. But make it a multi-series thing. You feel what I'm saying? Like, okay, this is the first part. The rest of the parts gonna come off on this platform or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or oh, we're gonna make a part 2 and 3 because it's so long. We got to chop up his life. Cool. You feel me? People are going to go out. It's Michael Jackson. It's going to be a money grab regardless. So it's like, that's one thing. They should have went deeper into his childhood, especially his teenage year, because even when he was a teenager, they literally jumped from okay, he's doing, you know, the little shows still as the Jackson 5 and stuff, to literally is like a big old transition. Like they didn't even show big moments in his life, like when he used to be on all these different shows, when him and Cher did a show together. I know Diana Ross legally removed herself from the movie, so I know a lot of that stuff probably got cut out. But still, The Wiz, I know you can't really make it without Diana Ross, but at the same time, it's like give something on The Wiz. Give him in the makeup and him like, you know what I'm saying, preparing on stage for it. You could kind of remove Diana Ross, like, oh, she just wasn't in the studio on this day or something like that. But, or give her a different name. Give her a character, oh, excuse me, that's similar. You feel what I'm saying? Like, don't name her Diana. Name her Anna. You feel what I'm saying? And oh, him and Anna, they blah blah blah. You feel me? Like different shit like that. You get what I'm saying? But I know for legal purposes, they had to remove Diana Ross completely out of the movie. Anything that had to do with her and stuff like that. But it's one of those things like go deeper into his emotional state because even when he was a teenager, like they went straight into him getting his nose done, and then all of a sudden it went from Off the Wall to Thriller, just like that. Like they didn't go into what made Off the Wall, like they didn't go what made him go get that nose surgery and stuff like that. So I didn't really, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't really I thought the movie was really good, but I didn't like how they didn't go deep enough and stuff. I feel like a lot of the stuff was really, really just surface level. Like they pretty, and it almost seemed like they skipped through a lot. Like it was like, especially between the Off the Wall and the Thriller album, it should have been way more between there. Like, okay, the making of the music videos, the making of in the studio of him actually being in there making "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough" and stuff like that. Off the Wall, the song and stuff like that. Like you have to give us more detail. You feel me? Because a lot of this movie, if you ask me, was almost like to almost bash Joe Jackson too, which was really kind of crazy because yeah, don't get me wrong, bro. A lot of people feel like, oh, Joe Jackson was this abusive father that all he did was whoop them. All he did was, you know what I'm saying, like beat on them, talk about their noses and stuff like that. But if you ask me personally, coming from Gary, if your parent isn't like that, dog, 9 times out of 10, you could fall into the stuff that they're trying to keep you away from. The streets of Gary, are they not like a normal city. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's easy to get into shit. So it's like, especially when you're around a bunch of people who do those same things. So it's like, I understand why he was so firm on them. And then this might not be the a wanted opinion or how a lot of people see it, but if you ask me personally, if Joe Jackson wasn't that way on his children, on them boys, 9 times out of 10, we would not know who the Jacksons are. Now, don't get me wrong, Michael Jackson had a God-given talent. He might have still been Michael Jackson, you feel what I'm saying? But that perfectionism, you feel me? Like, wanting to be a perfectionist, really, that work ethic to get there came from Joe Jackson. Because, like they said, say Michael missed a spin or something like that, foul, he getting his ass beat. Now, I'm not telling y'all that, oh, Joe Jackson was 100% right, you feel me? But to make your kids perfectionists like that, to give them a certain type of work ethic, to get out of a city like Gary so that they don't have to work as hard and their kids don't have to go through, even the things that Michael Jackson and them went through, even though that they left Gary before they was like 10 plus, or before Michael was like 10, 11 years old, they were already out of Gary. But it's like, if you don't instill that hard work into them, being men into them as kids, 9 times out of 10, they would have been, like he said, Po Gary niggas in the movie. Like, simple as that. Just a old little Po Gary boy. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's how a lot of them would have ended up, or normal people. You feel what I'm saying? So if you ask me, I feel like Joe Jackson really gave them the keys to success and how hard he pushed them. Was it a little bit too hard? Maybe. You feel me? Maybe. It might have been a little bit too harsh. But at the same time, look how successful they became. Like, Michael Jackson is really, still to this day, the greatest performer ever, and he's been dead for damn near 20 years. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we still haven't seen no one like it. We still talk about the moonwalk at Motown 25 like that wasn't 40 plus years ago. You feel me? So this is why I'm like, for them to make a movie to almost like bash Joe Jackson so bad, it's kind of like, ugh. It's a tough thing to see, because without him, they would not be who they are. Simple as that. Simple as that. That might be like a unwanted opinion, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people might not agree with that. But if you ask me personally, they would not be who they are if it was not for Joe Jackson. Because you need that type of firmness of you when you come from a rough city like that. Because if not, like I said, you could fall into what your friends doing, the people around you. You see people getting money, all of a sudden you want to get money. You feel me? So it's like, he gave them the blueprint and they perfected it. So shout out Joe Jackson. I know, rest in peace to him. You feel what I'm saying? I know a lot of people are bashing him right now and stuff like that. But if you ask me personally, I give all props to him, because without him, we wouldn't have the Jacksons. Cool. Another thing that they didn't go deep on, Jermaine Jackson and Michael Jackson beef. Like, how is he in the movie and you don't bring up the beef? Why don't you bring up the beef? You got to. Like, or even when Marlon was on stage doing all that, dancing like this, and then Mike look at this nigga. You feel me? Like, shit like that. Like, you gotta bring that up, because don't get me wrong, Jermaine, I know the family had a lot to do with that, so they probably don't, want to keep their face clear, want to keep the family's name clear. They don't want to put too much drama in there. But at the same time, it's like, motherfucking Jermaine Jackson made a whole goddamn diss song on Mike. Like, they literally was into it for the media. You feel me? Like, into it in the media. And then not only that, they barely talked about Jermaine leaving the family to go and stay with Motown when the family moved and transitioned over to CBS. Like, what? How don't you talk about that either? Because that was a major moment in their lives, because of the fact that not only did Jermaine choose to stay, but they were almost like nobody was talking to him except for Mike. Like, Mike, they said Mike used to literally call him and beg him to come back, telling him, I don't know what I would do on stage, and if I look to my right and you not there. You feel what I'm saying? Because if y'all know, as when they were kids, they were basically the two lead singers, him and Jermaine. And Jermaine had a good career. You feel what I'm saying? He had a good album to come out. It just obviously got overlooked by Michael. And that was a lot of the reason why him and Jermaine had beef. So that's what I'm saying, like, you gotta show the turmoil in there because if you don't, it's almost like, "Shit, like, this is stuff I already knew, I coulda waited to see this," almost, you feel what I'm saying? So, it was a lot of little details. I know that Randy and, Janet Jackson also opted out not to be in the, film as well, so it's like, cool, that's more stuff that's not gonna be in there, especially, like, his relationship with Janet and how close they were. Randy coming into the group after, they pretty much had to give their name back and become just the Jacksons and no longer the Jackson 5 because Motown owned it when they left. So it's like, it's a lot of things in the movie that I wish they would have added more to, but it was still a good movie. I ain't even gonna lie. I would rate it uh, a a solid 8 out of 10. And the reason why I give it an 8 out of 10 is because of the fact that Jafar Jackson did a great job. I'm not even gonna lie. He did a great job. He sounded like Mike. His demeanor was like Mike. And he just, I don't know, the way he embodied that role, it was great. I'm not even gonna lie. I can't I gotta give him props for that. Jafar Jackson did a great job on that. I like how they they also kind of made it a little bit comical. Like, for example, when Joe Jackson was about to get fired by Mike, instead of him going, he was like, "Oh, I need you to tell them blah blah blah. Blah. I need you to tell them that Joe is no longer going to do that." And they faxed him a whole paper and all this extra stuff. So it's like cool. You feel what I'm saying? And that's another thing. I don't mean to just backtrack to Joe Jackson again, but kinda how, like, when they were trying to make it seem like, "Oh, I know that he did force Mike onto that victory tour." You feel what I'm saying? And that's something else that they shoulda went deeper into because they been surfacing the same exact interview over and over and over of when the Jacksons were in Atlanta, they were in the backseat of a limo, they had a reporter back there, it was Mike, Jackie, Marlon, I wanna say Tito was back there as well, and that were trying to interview them, and Mike didn't even want to interview. Like, he was just looking away just like this. He stood up, sat on the back of the thing, like, he was not trying to answer any questions because he didn't wanna be there, because that victory tour should have been his off the wall slash thriller tour. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I personally I feel like it was so much left out that it's more to me being like, "Why they didn't add this to, oh, I actually like this, and that." You get what I'm saying? But it was still a solid movie. You feel what I'm saying? If you haven't seen it, you should go see it because it does give you a basis of his life, even with all the animals and stuff like that. But I know a lot got cut out, even when him and Catherine Jackson going around doing their Jehovah's Witness uh uh door to doors. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I know they cut that out. I know they cut out parts of the Wiz. I know they cut out the a whole Diana Ross, everything that had to deal with her. You feel what I'm saying? Because Diana Ross had a very huge impact on his life. And nobody really want to say it. But we really want to be honest, he got groomed since a kid by Diana Ross. So she, you know what I'm saying? I understand why she legally opted out of it. But at the same time, it's like, you know this movie gonna make so much money, I'll take that L. I ain't even gonna lie. I would tell her, look, I give you about 5% or whatever we make off of this, or 10%, whatever percentage you want, but we need your parts in this because this is what's gonna make or break the movie. A lot of people need to understand why he was so avid at protecting kids and their innocence and making them be kids for as long as they can. You get what I'm saying? Like, a lot of kids grow up early, as he did say, like at an awards ceremony. Hopefully, when part 2 drops, they get into this. But he was basically saying like how his childhood got taken away from him, how he was on stage in front of 100,000 people, literally since the age of 5. So it's like, cool. You feel what I'm saying? I understand why he would be so protective over these kids. So, and even just like we were saying, just Diana Ross, for example, grooming him as a kid. He was 19, she was 33 when they did The Wiz. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and it ain't no telling about the stuff that happened before The Wiz. So, shout out to the creators of the Michael movie. I believe it was a solid movie. You feel what I'm saying? I give it an 8 out of 10. If you haven't seen it, I really suggest that you do. I think that it gives you a great basis of his life. You feel what I'm saying? Even though it doesn't go really into detail, it does give a great basis of his life. You feel what I'm saying? So shout out to the Michael movie. It was really good. I honestly would go see it again, but that's also because I'm an avid Michael Jackson fan. But transitioning on to the next topic, let's get into this whole Klay Thompson, Megan Thee Stallion drama. I ain't gonna get too much into the breakup. You feel me? I ain't trying to get into the drama part of it, but we gonna talk about basically from my point of view how I kind of see it, just because of the fact that I'm I kind of understand both sides of the story. You feel me? So let's get into kind of what she has said to break the news or whatever. She pretty much said cheating, had me around your whole family playing house, got cold feet, holding you down through your horrible mood swings and treatments towards me during your basketball season. Now you don't know if you can be monogamous. Bitch, I need a real break after this one. Bye, y'all. Hey, hey. I feel your pain, you feel me? I'd have been in a situation where you've been feeling like you've been led on, and boom, all of a sudden that person not ready for shit. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, that fucking sucks. So Klay Thompson, you fucked up. I ain't even gonna lie, you kind of messed up doing that. You feel me? Not kind of, but you did. You feel me? You got a bad woman. You got somebody that's basically on the same money stream as you, all that same amount of fame, everything, somebody that could really understand your life, and you mess it up like that. Cool. You feel me? Everything don't work out. You win some, you lose some. You mess up to learn to live another day. Cool. But according to a bunch of people that's been coming out that used to date Klay Thompson back in the day, they say he had a whole conversation in their book basically going over like, oh, his lifestyle. Like how off the court he just got women throwing themselves at him, how pretty much he knows that he treats women bad, but the temptation around him is basically causes it, you know? So I'm just gonna stick from a standpoint of him not being ready to settle down, him still being wild. I ain't gonna lie. Klay Thompson damn near at the end of his NBA career. I can understand why, because when you have that much motion or that type of status like a Klay Thompson, you feel what I'm saying? Originally being like a lot of people who don't know him women wise, he was a splash brother. Him and Steph Curry were the face behind Steph Curry, Draymond Green, faces of that Warriors dynasty for the most part. Won 4 championships. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's Klay Thompson. You feel me? So I understand what he's saying. Like, oh, I got women throwing themselves at me. I ain't ready to settle down. But at the same time, Klay, you gotta understand, bro. One woman is better than 1,000 women. You feel me? Like, if you could find somebody that was care for you, love you, cooking for you, really damn near being a wife to you, and she's not your wife, you gotta keep her. I ain't even gonna lie. And I'm a young nigga. You feel me? And I understand that certain women only come around one time. You get what I'm saying? So for Megan Thee Stallion to be holding him down, and I know that during that whole when he first left and went to the Mavs, and then they had the whole down season with Luka getting traded and everything, and Klay Thompson was playing like pure boo boo. I'm already knowing that he was just a dickhead. I ain't even gonna lie, especially with the way she's confirming it, like, oh, blah blah blah. Like Klay Thompson already got dickhead allegations. You're being just an asshole. So it's like for him to have somebody that was gonna stick with him through that shit, it sucks. You feel me? But sometimes you gotta go through it. Like you have to go through it. For his example, he probably ain't never had a woman that did all that for him and was like, oh, I'm still gonna stick around even though you're being a dickhead to me. Oh, I'm still gonna be here and cooking for your family even though you acting like this way or that you cheated. I'm still gonna stay. Blah blah blah. But it's like sometimes you just have to go through it. You have to lose a good woman to understand what a good woman is. And I think that that's kind of what Klay is going through right now. Because if you look at his dating past, yeah, he has some women. You feel what I'm saying? He has some nice looking women. But that don't always mean that they're wifey material. And sometimes you don't know how to move with a woman. You feel what I'm saying? Because you never had it. It's something new. So now you like, damn, it might be too good to be true. You feel what I'm saying? But that makes no excuse, period, to go and cheat. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you got a woman, sit down with your woman, man. You feel me? Like, I know there's temptation. I know there's a bunch of women out here, you know what I'm saying, that you could possibly have, and all the options, all the choices you can have. Cool. You feel me? But this woman is bad. She make it, you know, she not finna leech off you because she's making her own money. She's an artist. You feel what I'm saying? She got so many endorsement shit. She was on stage with Kamala Harris. You feel me? Like, that's like, I don't understand. You feel what I'm saying? But it's not for us to understand. You feel what I'm saying? But I do want to give my uh well, damn, for lack of a better word, condolences to Megan Thee Stallion, because I know how it feels to be literally thinking that you finna be with somebody, that you giving it your all. You doing shit that you normally wouldn't even do. Like, you putting up with stuff that normally you be like, man, watch out. You feel me? But then this person think, you know, they at an all-time high, so then they just drop you in the ocean, like just throwing a rock in the ocean. You feel me? Like, now you like, damn, I really wanted to do something with you, and now you feel me? So I understand that hurt. You understand what I'm saying? But there's also better ways to go about it. Cause now not only are you opening the door for people to be like, oh, well, this for Tori, or this is her karma for that, or this is for maybe she ain't, you know what I'm saying, blah blah blah. Maybe she ain't like what we think she is, or maybe this and that. You feel me? It's like, you can't go to the media, especially when you that big of a status, with your issues like that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, when this podcast pop, y'all will never see me in the media at all. Especially with none of my personal life shit. Like, when you're that big of an artist, when you're that known, right? Your status is that big. You can't be a regular person. And it sucks to say, because they are human beings as well. But at the same time, you have to understand, like, the moment that you broke this news that you and Klay were done, people are going to have their own allegations for every little thing that happened. Any little thing that you say, they're going to have to try to a counter argument for it. You get what I'm saying? So, it's a tough situation, especially for her, because I feel bad for her, because it's like, damn, like, I really, 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 really do understand her hurt. But at the same time, it's like, don't come to the media with it. Let them have their speculations. And the more and more that you show your hurt and you show your emotion into this media wise, you damn near letting Klay win even more. Because now it's like, oh, well, the people that already hated you, you feel what I'm saying? It's like, they're going to go deeper into, like, oh, well, we already knew the type of person she was. We already knew this. We already knew that. And it caused even worse. Now, you already grieving a breakup. Now, you got to deal with everybody else. You feel me? And then they were trying to put, like, Lexi Brown into it, saying that, oh, freaking Klay was cheating on her with Lexi Brown. And then here go the counter arguments. Oh, well, she was keep cheating on Klay with his teammate. So it's like, it's a tough ass situation. I know more is going to come out eventually. You feel what I'm saying? But on both sides, everybody just got to take accountability. You feel what I'm saying? Like we always end every episode, taking accountability in everything you do, because I know it was probably things that Meg probably did that Klay was like, I ain't fucking with this. You feel what I'm saying? And it's obviously hella shit that Klay did that she was like, I'm not fucking with that. You feel me? So shout out to the both of them. Obviously, everything don't work. I hate to see black people and black couples in the middle of the media just getting bashed like this, because both sides are getting bashed. Crazy. You feel what I'm saying? Especially Klay. Like, women are on his ass. Like, he gonna have to go and hide him for a little bit, because I ain't gonna lie, dog. The way they on him, bro, might as well just continue to stick to basketball for a little bit, because and these women are on his ass. Because don't get me wrong, cheating is bad. Always. You feel what I'm saying? But it's like, you gotta let people, you gotta let couples do what they do. You feel what I'm saying? Because we don't know what type of cheating it was. And this is might be an unpopular opinion, but there are two different types of cheating. There's unacceptable cheating, And there's cheating where it's like, okay, maybe we could work this out. So we don't even know. Maybe he was just texting women. Maybe he was hitting women. We don't know. We don't know. So shout out to the two of them. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, they can at least reconcile just a little bit. Obviously, the relationship probably is, it seems like it's cooked completely, but hopefully they can at least become cordial. You know, she don't hate him forever. He don't hate her forever. You make the mistakes, you live and you learn. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and transition on the next topic. This Ray J shit is kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Because if it's true, obviously, as we know, Ray J has a lot of issues and shit like that. But if this is true, dog, this is kind of crazy. You feel what I'm saying? This is damn near like a R. Kelly ass situation with Kim Kardashian and her mom. But basically, what Ray J came out and said was that Kim Kardashian's mom, she knew about everything that was going on with their sex tape. That she was the one that actually planned everything. Like, they're saying that she pretty much set it up, gave them the place in Santa Monica to go to, basically had them record it and everything like that with intentions to eventually release this to get Kim Kardashian to another status. You feel what I'm saying? Get her above Paris Hilton. So let's hear what he has to say about Kris Jenner and everything that she had did at the time.
Exist.
3.
How many did the public see?
I think 1.
And you're saying Kris Jenner was a part of all 3 in some capacity. No, with knowing that this was happening.
She made us do it. She made us shoot them, bro. She watched them. I had the first one that was long time ago. She made us do more, bro. She made us do more. And she watched us and she watched it.
So Kris Jenner was in the room while you were having sex with Kim?
No.
Okay, so.
Because then at that point, I was young and naive. So when she sent us to Santa Barbara to do it, at that point, I was like, it's just weird, but, and I hate to say it because I was super dumb and I was super naive and I was young. I was like, man, I think I'm gonna fuck her mama too, because why does she want us to keep doing, you know, as a young man, I'm like 22 or 20, like, you know, I'm like, I think that they wanna, it's awkward. I can get Joe Francis on the phone. He's the one that connected everybody. Girls Gone Wild. I didn't know him before Kris introduced us to all of them.
Kris Jenner orchestrated the whole sex tape thing.
1000%.
Certainly.
So as y'all can see, he basically saying that it was her mom that did that shit. That Kris Jenner is the one that came out and was like, y'all go do this sex tape. And we, you know what I'm saying? This where y'all gonna do it at. This was gonna film it. Blah, blah, blah. You feel me? That, if this is true, because as we know, Ray J, he kind of up and down sometimes. He had a video recently coming out saying how he was gonna bend over a couple of niggas. So I'm like, I can't wholeheartedly put my trust in Ray J. But what I will say is that I cannot put it past the Kardashians, because another thing that Ray J was saying, because I kind of stopped the video a little bit earlier, but later down the line in that video, he was pretty much saying that like this was a play to get Kim Kardashian to pretty much take Paris Hilton's spot. You feel what I'm saying? They were saying that Paris Hilton was hot right now. She was doing all this different promos, endorsements, blah, blah, blah. They was like, why not have Kim Kardashian do this? Blasted everywhere because she was known as Paris Hilton's best friend at the time. And if it fucks up her and Paris Hilton's relationship, so be it. So it pretty much did that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, not too much after that sex tape came out, all of a sudden she messed with Kanye West. Her and Kanye go crazy together. You know what I'm saying? They make Skims, Yeezy, all types of stuff. So it's like, do I put it past Kris Jenner to do something like this? No, sir. I do not put it past Kris Jenner to do something like this. Just for the fact that I know the type of recognition that Kim Kardashian could have got off of that. You feel what I'm saying? And then not only that, back in the early 2000s, in the 90s, the 80s, parents was pretty much doing anything to get their kids in the limelight. They were pretty much doing anything to get their kids to be childhood stars or millionaires and stuff like that. So it's like, I personally can't put it past Kris Jenner. But could Ray J be lying? yes, if this is true, Kris Jenner is a sick individual, wholeheartedly. Because as a parent, I'm not a parent, but as a parent, I would never, ever, 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 ever put my kids in no type of situation like that. It's better ways, it's easier ways to get rich. You feel what I'm saying? Because when I say easier ways, not only do you have to deal with the bashing of the media, you have to deal with your family seeing this. You have to deal with fucking people that the businesses seeing this. You feel what I'm saying? This could have possibly end her whole career as a businesswoman. You get what I'm saying? Doing the things that she actually wanted to do. This could have killed all of that. So it's like to put your kid in that type of harm's way, I would say, especially in this type of industry. It's not, you know what I'm saying? That's a sick thing to do, dog. It's a sick thing to do, especially when y'all already had money. So it's like, shout out Kris Jenner and them. I don't know how real this is. You feel what I'm saying? If it's true, you know what I'm saying? If Ray J just not tweaking, then it's like, cool. You feel what I'm saying? Like, hey, get on Kris Jenner's ass immediately. Like, immediately. Because of the fact that that's some sick shit, dog. That's some sick ass shit. I ain't even gonna lie. I could never. Even if one of my sisters or my nieces and nephews got put in a situation like that, my sisters would have to see me. I ain't even gonna lie. Just because that shit's sick. It ain't nothing. Money is not worth going through the mental strenuous pain that your child possibly is gonna have to go through when they get older, or when they eventually have kids and then their kids have to see these things. You get what I'm saying? Like, fuck. And the way Kanye kids are, like North and all them, they blunt. You feel what I'm saying? So when they hear or they see about this sex tape thing with their mom, it's like, you know they gonna have questions. You know they gonna be talking about it like, Mom, you did blah, blah, blah. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so it's tough for Kim Kardashian. It almost makes me feel bad for her because if this was true, it's like she was forced into doing something that she probably didn't really want to do. Probably just did it out of the love because she loved Ray J. She loved her mama. She feel like her mama gonna have her best interest. So, man, shout out to the Kardashians. Shout out Ray J. Hopefully this shit isn't true. I hope Ray J just trolling or he doing something amongst those lines. But it's like, if this shit is true, if these allegations are true right now, Kris Jenner, you are a sick motherfucker to put your daughter in some shit like that. So, yeah, we gonna wait to see if that's true or not. But with that being said, let's go into this motherfucking Le'Veon Bell interview with Justin LeBoy. This is another one that kind of had me crying laughing because, dog, I'm gonna let y'all watch it first and then I'm gonna get my opinion on this.
And a bitch drunk and she starts snitching on herself. Take another shot. What else you did?
Oh, yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah, they get a little drunk, start feeling real safe. They start feeling real, I can vent to him.
Yeah.
I feel confident in him. Yeah, tell me some more. Let me know how much dirty shit you done did. Oh, you got trained? What?
Oh, you did what?
You
ever met a bitch that fucked Drake or Future before? Tell the truth.
have her? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Being-
She was done. Oh, yeah, being fucked Future?
Yeah.
Oh, Drake.
I think she with Future now. I think they like together.
What?
Hey, bro.
You think you was a bad motherfucker with two different bitches? Future really having shit.
Oh, bro, I know.
So your baby mother is Future's girlfriend.
I don't think he's his girlfriend. I just think they fucking with each other. I don't think Future got a girlfriend, do he?
Yeah, I don't
Wait,
know.
hold on.
Future's just fuck.
Stop the video, bro. Stop the fuck video right here because I ain't gonna lie, dog. Hold on. If my baby mama is getting cracked by Future, you gotta fucking kill me to get that type of information out of me. I'm sorry, dog. I'm sorry because if you look, sometimes I know he's an NFL star. That's Le'Veon Bell, ex running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Jets. Great running back during his time, right? But if my baby mama is getting buzzed down by Future, dog, nobody's getting that information out of me. I'm sorry. I can't do it, dog, because of the fact that you gotta check it out like this. Cool. Before this video even came out, I had no idea who the fuck his baby mama was. Like, no idea at all. Like, I pretty much was just like, oh, it's Le'Veon Bell, your NFL star, blah, blah, blah. That's it. You feel me? Maybe his situation with his baby mama is like, oh, she was a groupie, I hit her, I got her pregnant, and then after she got pregnant, I didn't want to keep the baby. She kept the baby. Boom. We wasn't together at all. Cool. But the way he explaining that shit, he kind of look like he butthurt. I ain't even gonna lie. To be like, yeah, laughing about it, kind of be like, yeah, my baby, blah, 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 blah. Bro, that's not a flex, dog. Like, I'll be like, nah. If he asked me that question, I'm like, nah, I actually haven't ran into any women that, you feel what I'm saying, did this with Drake in Future. You feel me? Like, you know, that is not my concern. You feel me? That's how I would have kept it. But to say, like, oh yeah, my baby mama, the mother of my children? Like, oh Lord. And I understand everybody don't stay together. You feel me? Everybody is like, they pretty much be on some shit like, oh, especially when you got that type of status, they might be like I said, a groupie, he hit her, boom. Afterwards, they had no relations. You feel what I'm saying? She got pregnant, had no relations. Kind of like an Anthony Edwards situation. Cool. You feel me? But if you was with this woman, you feel what I'm saying, and y'all broke up and she instantly went to start fucking on Future and shit like that, you might as well forget about it. You might as well forget about it. I ain't even gonna lie. She never coming back. Like, yeah, Future, 9 times out of 10, he probably gonna dog her. You feel what I'm saying? She probably gonna dog her. But I would be so like, I don't even want to mention this woman, that when that came up, I would have been like, nah. I would never tell nobody that my bitch got fucked by that nigga. What is what is going on? What is going on? And I understand this is BM. So like, they probably, like I said before, here and here. But dog, that's some information you would have to literally put a gun to my head to get off of me, dog. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not going to lie. Like, you would have to put a gun to my head to literally just like be like, make me be like, oh yeah, my baby mama, yeah, I think she with Future now. Like, blah, 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 blah. Cool. I know y'all got y'all separate lives. She gonna have to move on eventually. I'm gonna have to move on eventually. But it's like, ugh. And that could be kind of childish from my standpoint. But at the same time, it's like, bruh. Bruh. And then Justin LeBoy ain't even make it better to about, you think you having shit. Future's really having shit. Like, damn, I know the nigga lit, but fuck, don't put it in my face like that, dog. Pause. Like, don't give it to me like that. Pause. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. But shout out Le'Veon Bell, dog. I understand, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he's just on some shit like, yeah, I ain't my girl no more. You feel me? But I still got to see this woman because I have a kid with her. And with me being the type of father that I want to be, is like, I could never just leave my daughter and just be sending her money monthly. Like, no. Or my son just giving them money monthly. Like, no, I got to be there. Like, I have to be there. So it's like, now I'm picking up my kid from Future House possibly. Like, this is tough, bro. That's a tough situation. Shout out Le'Veon Bell, but you would have to kill me to get that information up out of me. I could never. I'm sorry. I could never. But with that being said, too, we gonna go ahead. Like, I ain't gonna get too deep into it because it's a whole, like, damn near 5-minute video. I don't want to give y'all all of that. So shout out to them, but shout out Future, because obviously, no matter how many times he showed that he don't give a fuck about women, they flock to him, bro. They flock to that man. So, hey, shout out Future. Shout out to Le'Veon Bell. But like I said before, you would have to kill me to get that information on me. I would never. I'm sorry. I could never, ever get that. You couldn't get that information out of me. But next topic, man. PPP loans. Everybody that was out there, you know what I'm saying? They thought shit was sweet. They was over there getting all these, free little 20Ks here and there, blah, blah, blah. Well, the U.S. government just came out. They said that they are officially cracking down and about to go back and try to get, I think, like $20 billion worth of funds that were misused during the COVID, basically, relief fund era. So all those PPP loans, everything like that, they basically came out saying that they found over $20 billion where people didn't properly fill out information right, didn't have businesses, and was still, you feel what I'm saying, getting money, stuff like that. Like, they And it's low key fucked up. You feel me? Like, so for those who do PPP, shout out to y'all because, hey, if I wasn't a bitch ass nigga, I would have done the same shit. You feel me? But I'm too scared to go to jail. I ain't trying to go to jail for no bullshit like that. So shout out to y'all. Y'all feel me? Y'all took that risk. Y'all got y'all bread. Y'all been cool so far. You feel me? But when it comes to the government trying to recover $20 billion worth of funds that pretty much got misused, it's kind of strange to me because how the fuck would you go back and try to, oh, y'all need to pay back this, and that to your own American citizens, but then you giving $100 billion to a country like Israel to go and bomb other countries or just do what they want to do. Fuck, we're paying for programs, LGBTQ programs in other countries. Why? Like, but then y'all want $20 billion back from people that took money that possibly helped them pay their bills during COVID if they didn't have no jobs or get their businesses off the ground and running. Yeah, it wasn't ideal and it wasn't ethical to do that. But at the same time, it's like, we shouldn't have to come to these measurements. People shouldn't have to be coming to fraud of the U.S. government or trying to scam the U.S. government to survive, to be able to pay their bills, to be able to, like, homelessness in America is insane today. And this kind of leads me into a question that I had outside of the pod. Somebody wanted me to address this. But homelessness in America, like San Francisco, for example, they literally, like, almost half of their city is homeless. Like, they're laying off all these tech people and they have nowhere to go because the cost of living is so high just in California alone. So it's like, when you are trying to come back and recoup $20 billion in funds and you're giving almost $100 billion in funds to countries like Ukraine, Israel, all these other different Middle Eastern countries, right? But you can't take care of home first, it's fucking insane. And as American citizens, we have to stand up at some point and get this squared away. We have to stop this shit because imagine if they took that $100 billion and put it back to the people. You know how much stuff that we could have, that are people that could be off the streets? You feel what I'm saying? Shelters for those who are mentally ill so they're not homeless because they can't stay in a mental state long enough to where they can take care of themselves. Like, that $100 billion that we giving to these other countries, or even just this $20 billion that they trying to recoup all of a sudden, it's like, this is money that could be helping people. I was just looking at some statistics the other day. Gen Zers, 72% of Gen Zers are literally living paycheck to paycheck, meaning that if they miss one paycheck or if they lose their job, within 2 to 6 months, they're homeless. This is insane. This is insane when and it's a lot of people trying. Like, over half of people with college degrees now are jobless, can't get a job in their field. This is insane. Like, when you look back to the 60s, the 70s, my grandma, for example, she got a college education while taking care of 3 kids. And don't get me wrong, yeah, she had my grandfather's income as well, or however he was helping the family. I don't know, in deep detail. But it's like, for her to even be able to get a college education, have a car, be able to afford groceries, everything like that, with 3 kids. And this is before my auntie and my uncle was born. So, like, to be able to do that though, it was like, that's how it should be. To be able to pay your mortgage or pay wherever you live and paying rent and everything like that, buying groceries and taking care of 3 kids on a teacher's salary, you should be able to do that, right? But nowadays, it's like, I think she was working at the post office at the time, but still, regardless of the fact, it's like, to be able to take care of 3 kids and your family alone with that type of salary in today's time, you cannot do that. You barely taking care of 1 child on those type of salaries, and teachers are barely taking care of themselves, and they're the ones that are supposed to make the youth. They're in control of the future right now when you really think about it, because without teachers, the youth doesn't learn. The youth isn't you know what I'm saying, they are being taught the things that they need to learn for our next generation of doctors, lawyers, fucking Supreme Court justices, President of the United States, lawmakers, stuff like that. So when they're trying to pretty much take back all this money, go back and crack down on, oh, well, you got to pay back 20K. We had a 20K loan from you. You need to pay that back by this date. You feel what I'm saying? It's a tough ass situation because we have so many homeless people. 72% of Gen Zers, this is my generation, I'm pretty sure. In fact, let's look at it because let's see what generation exactly is Gen Z. So Gen Z is 1997 and 2012, right? Dog, like, that's my generation. Like, we're the next up. We're the next CEOs and shit like that. And we can't even take care of ourselves. We can't even pay bills. You feel what I'm saying? And it's not because of, oh, well, they don't know how to save. They don't know how to invest. But it's because we can't. Like, when you really look at how inflation is going, gas is at $4, $5 in some places. This is insane. Like, I just had this conversation with my dad not too long ago of their dollars stretch further. Like, for example, when I say their dollars stretch further, they could go in the grocery store right now. They could get 5 cans of green beans with $1, right? Back in the 80s, right? This is just all hypothetical. They could go in, get 5 cans of green beans for $1. Nowadays, you go in there, you might get a can of green beans for $1. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, between inflation, between everything with the tariffs that fucked us up, like, something has to change. Salaries have been, fucking minimum wage has been $7.25 since before I was born. I was born in 2002. So and we see the cost of living just going up and up and up and up. Just to take care of a family of 2 right now you have to, just to be comfortable by yourself, you have to make at least $60,000 a year. To be able to take care of a family, you have to be making over $130,000 a year. A year. And it is not a lot. 60K is not making a lot of money. That's an average job. You feel what I'm saying? But that's just for you to be able to just live just enough to pay your bills, have something to eat, and just a little bit of miscellaneous things. Not being able to, oh, well, I want to take a trip to here, or I want to go on a cruise here, or stuff like that. So our economy, we have to rate. There's 3 things we need to do. We need to take care of home first. Stop sending out all this money to Israel, to Ukraine, to all these Middle Eastern countries, to all these different countries around the world. Stop. I understand, yeah, we have to be able to keep our allies and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like, when our citizens are suffering, the United States is damn near a 3rd world country now. Like, other countries are looking at us like they're not the powerhouse of the world anymore. We're falling. So it's like, for the United States, what we need to do, stop sending out all this money. Funnel it back into our country, into our states. Help with homelessness. Help with people that can't pay their bills. Help give different programs to students to where we bring it back, free lunch and free breakfast again. Like, we need these programs for these children. Bring back music into the schools so that children can learn skills young. You feel what I'm saying? Put this money into the school systems, period. Give teachers a higher salary. Like, everything that's going on is because of they're pulling money back, trying to give it to other places. Like, no. Put these type of programs, put this funding into things that's going to help the youth, help the future. You know, that's one thing we need to do. Stop funneling money to everywhere else. 1. 2, tax these corporations, tax these billionaires. Like, we literally let Trump come in here and don't get me wrong, it was going on before Trump as well. But he made it even worse to where there are regular everyday citizens paying more in taxes than Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Donald Trump combined. It's insane. It's no way that this billion-dollar corporations should not be paying at least 40%, 50% in taxes. If you look at history, before 1920, that whole New Deal stuff went on, blah, 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 Industrial Revolution, all that extra shit. Billionaires and big corporations, they were getting taxed like 40%. 40% of what they made. And that is ideal. This is what should be happening, because we can use this money to go and make America a balanced life again. The American dream to come back, where you can have a house, you have a dog, a car, family, good job, living well off. Do you feel what I'm saying? Bring the American dream back, because right now we don't have American dream. Right now is literally like being able to pay your damn bills on time, not being late, not, you know what I'm saying, getting kicked out your apartment, being able to just go to work, eat, sleep, shit, and still have a little bit of fun. Like, that's damn near what the American dream is now. Like, this shit is insane. And I know I said I wasn't going to be cussing a lot during this episode, but fuck. Like, when we have topics like this, you can't help but to get upset, because how are we helping other countries before we help ourselves? You know what I'm saying? Like, people are getting flooded with healthcare. We should have free healthcare. All it is, $100 billion that you could be putting that into a healthcare program, so where people don't have to pay for healthcare anymore. You feel what I'm saying? Groceries. I went to the grocery store the other day, goddamn spent $100 for 4 items. Like, this is insane. Like, this is insane, dog. Like, we have to get back to putting Americans first. This is no longer a color thing. It's literally a rich versus poor. Literally, it's rich versus poor now. And if we don't stand up as middle class American citizens or poverty line American citizens, we are continuously just going to get ran over and get fucked every single time, because of the fact that we just letting them do what they want. This is supposed to be a democracy, not a dictatorship. One person shouldn't be pretty much outlining the future of our country, because that's what's happening right now with Trump. So it's a shitty situation, I ain't gonna lie, because not only do they need to raise minimum wage and all these other things, we need to start taxing these billionaire corporations, because we could use that money into helping homeless people. We could use it to helping children. We could use it to helping sick people. We could use it for universal health care, shit like that. Like, bro, they're fucking us up. That's what they're doing. They're fucking us up. They're making life harder for us, so that we don't, like, bro, they're projecting that like 2040, we won't even be buying homes anymore. Everything will just be rented, because we can't afford it. And all these big corporations are going up, buying all the farmland, buying up all these homes. This stuff has to be addressed. It has to be addressed, because eventually it's going to get to a point where we don't own anything. Nothing is ours. We literally would just be like borrowing for the rest of our lives, always having to pay something, working for the rest of our lives. So, man, we got to get this shit together. This is something that is eventually it'll just get worse. It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse if we don't crack down on it now. So, I don't even want to say shout out to them, but shout out to the people that did get their PPP loans. I hope they don't come down and crack down on y'all for real, because y'all don't deserve that. Y'all had to do what y'all had to do, and it is what it is. I know, don't get me wrong, there was people being greedy with it, but at the same time, there's no way that we can give $100 billion to Israel or Ukraine just to go bomb some other places, versus putting and helping our citizens first, who are it's literally becoming a line where it's rich and poor. Like, that's it. It's no more middle class. So we need to figure this out soon. Simple as that. But keeping Trump, you know what I'm saying, in the news a lot lately, and this whole administration or whatever, they recently had a whole shooting. I guess they had a dinner at like a correspondence dinner. I want to say it was at the White House, but I don't know exactly where it was at. But allegedly, there were shots fired at the dinner. I have a video here of security trying to rush JD Vance out of the actual event, but all right. Trump fell. Somebody was really trying to get him. It would have been GG's. But as y'all can see, it's a heavy military presence there. Obviously, according to the reports that I've read, it was a gunman in a building. It was pretty much you know, the shooting that happened. Allegedly, somebody else was trying to kill Trump. He didn't have a lot of assassination attempts so far. I'm not gonna give my opinion on the first one when he did the whole, you know what I'm saying, and the ear thing. I ain't gonna give my whole thing. In fact, fuck it. I think that shit was fake. I ain't even gonna lie. It was fake. I believe that whole little first assassination attempt where over the summer, that whole thing was bullshit, if you ask me. But, hey, hey, hey. Shout out to what's going on out there. You feel what I'm saying? I'm glad everybody was safe. Nobody was hurt. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm not the biggest fan of Trump. I think that we shouldn't be trying to kill people. You know what I'm saying? We should not be inciting violence. We shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? We gotta, because it's not gonna do nothing. You kill him, we put up JD Vance. Like, and that's even fucking worse. So it's like, we don't need to incite any violence. We don't need you to go and pop this man. What we need is for lawmakers, people that's supposed to be representing the people, they need to do as much as they can to go ahead and get him out of office so that he can never run again. Nobody that's a part of his cabinet can be in there ever again. None of it. You feel what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody there. I hope everybody was safe. That's all I got to say on that. But let's go ahead and transition to the next topic. And this one is just kind of me. This is going to be like our outro topic here. But hey, Candace Owens, I'm not gonna lie, she's been in the news lately. I know that Trump just came out bashing her and stuff like that because she's been doing a lot of coverage into Israel and into the Jews and stuff like that. Now, before I say anything, Candace Owens I'm not fond of Candace Owens. On the whole when Black Lives Matter movement was going on and how she pretty much just was like, oh, well, white lives matter too and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that white lives don't matter, but in that moment, that was not the focus. You get what I'm saying? So for her and all the, you know, racist stuff that she said, kind of pretty much like not wanting to be a real black woman and stuff like that, it's just, it's a tough situation. But at the same time, for me personally, I just believe that Candace Owens is kind of grown on me just a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, because of her style of journalism. Like, she's not scared to speak on things that's wrong. Like, and this is an old video, and this is also will lead into our question of the day. But it was an old video that I was watching on Candace Owens, and she was really going into depth about how Jewish people or a Jewish family pretty much created Hollywood. Like a bunch of Jewish mobsters created Hollywood, all these fake award ceremonies to kind of create their own type of power in the media and in the industry, and how it all leads to the death of Prince, Michael Jackson, and how they bashing Justin Bieber and more. And it was something that got me like, dang, I actually messed with Candace Owens because of her style of how she was not sugarcoating anything. She was calling people out. Like the Jewish people, she was calling them out by name. She was going through basically giving her real opinion on it, how they basically calling them bad people and more. And it kind of made me be like, damn, okay, Candace, like, maybe this is a side of you that you've been had, but you had to get on a platform first. You had to get yourself a platform to be able to show the real you. And the more and more she speaks, that's kind of what's being shown to me. Like, maybe she did all of this stuff just to get a platform to people that will listen to her. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Candace Owens is kind of growing on me. But with all this being said, though, it leads into my question of the day. Do y'all believe that, I know last one we said was Michael Jackson killed? And yeah, obviously it came out to be a homicide and stuff like that. But do we think Prince was a part of this too? Because when you look at the way that Prince was killed or was found dead in his home, in his elevator, off a overdose of fentanyl, it's like Michael Jackson had a similar death after speaking about similar things that Prince was speaking about. I know before Prince died, he was pretty much going in saying like how we need to take the power back from the record labels. That's why he pretty much changed his name into a symbol so that they couldn't own him anymore. They couldn't have anything that was of his. You feel what I'm saying? All the music and stuff like that he dropped was purely for him. You feel what I'm saying? Him bringing back the power into his hands. And he was speaking out against record labels the same way Michael Jackson was. And once you see stars start doing things like this, we start seeing the bashing of them. Like, for example, Michael Jackson. He spoke out against record labels. He spoke out against Tommy Missoula and all these very, very powerful people. You get what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, he was a rapist. He was a child molester. He was wacko jacko, shit like that. And when you really look into these allegations, you see where the father of the kid that was accusing Michael Jackson of all this stuff, you see where it's like, oh, like, dang, the dad, he got excommunicated from the child. The son didn't even want to talk to him. You get what I'm saying? Like, you would think that, like, oh, my dad stood up for me against somebody like a Michael Jackson. That's the greatest entertainer, biggest celebrity in the world. All the money he has, right? You would think that it would be like, like, my dad stood up for me against that. Like, oh, my dad, that's my hero. But no, the son even was like, nah, like, you need to stay away from me. It came out with audio recording of basically the dad coming out saying stuff like, oh, well, I found some of the biggest lawyers ever and I'm going to get my money. Basically, kind of seemed like it was a vindictive thing to go against his ex-wife because he didn't want her to thrive or her to have the money that she was getting from, you know what I'm saying? Or the help she was getting from Mike and stuff like that. So, I don't know. The things that the Jewish community would do to kind of bash you. Look at Kanye West. Like, they literally had text messages from a Jewish man whose grandfather was a part of the making of Hollywood. Basically text him, and he's supposed to just be his gym trainer or whatever. Text him like, if you don't shut the fuck up or if you don't stop talking, that we're going to send you back to La La Land. La La Land meaning like the institution. We're going to get you institutionalized, put you back on the drugs that basically zombify you out. So to see these things and then Prince doing the same thing, and all of a sudden his death he's found dead off an overdose in his elevator. Like, I don't know. I don't think it was a suicide. I don't think it was an accidental death. I think that Prince was killed. Simple as that. If you go back and look at a lot of his interviews going against these record labels, if you go back and really look at the connection between him, Michael Jackson, even Kanye West, they didn't kill Kanye, but just to see the connection between all three of these people, it's like every single time they start speaking out against a record label or they start speaking out against the Jewish community, people end up dead or people end up, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I personally feel like Prince was killed, but that's our question of the day. Y'all go ahead and y'all put it in the comments. You feel what I'm saying? What y'all think is, if he was killed, if he wasn't, if y'all think that it was an accidental death or was somebody stuck onto him like Michael Jackson. They put his doctor in-house to overdose and kill him just to get that second half of Sony back. You get what I'm saying? So it's one of those things that I personally believe that Prince was killed. I think it's something that us as fans of these big artists, we have to keep an eye on because even Justin Bieber is going through it all right now. And a lot of this was brought to my eye by Candace Owens. So that's why I say Candace Owens kind of is growing on me because she's speaking on things that has to be spoken about. You feel what I'm saying? Like, as we saw Trump basically come out and say that she's just this terrible person after so much support she had for him. It's like, obviously she's speaking something that's true. So shout out to Candace Owens, man. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, you did have your coon days, but I hope they're over with. But shout out to Candace Owens. I think a lot of the shit she be saying is true. But I want y'all to really answer that question of the day for me. Like, do y'all think Prince was killed? Do y'all think Prince was a part of this? And this whole Michael Jackson, Kanye, Prince, the people and artists that speak out against the Jewish community or record labels or very powerful people, do y'all think it's a whole web? Like, everything is connected and it comes back to one group of people? Like, let me know. Let me know. We're going to speak more about it until the next episode. But with that being said, y'all, it's been a great, great, great episode. You feel what I'm saying? Make sure y'all wake up with the intentions to be a great person every day. You feel what I'm saying? Don't go out with intentions to hurt nobody. I know people might do some fucked up shit to you, but still be a great person in every single moment, and take accountability in everything you do. Don't ever just be a bitch ass nigga and blame everything on everybody else. Take accountability and any and everything you do. That's the only way you be a great person. So that being said, y'all, make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment, and share this video. Get it out to any and everybody that you know. And shit, I'll be back with y'all with another video real soon. So shout out to y'all. We'll be back soon. For sure.
In this life that I'm living, I pray I make it through the night. As I ride through my city, I'm